two, ready, go. 15. Hi everybody, it's Miss Janess. I have a bit of a cold, so you have to listen really well today because I'm not my big booming voice. But we're going to talk about courage. Courage and love and anger. And it's the story of Jacob and Esau. But let's light the candle because we want God with us. This is one of the most important stories of the Old Testament, and it's a long one. And in Growing in God's Love, which you should have at home, the Bible, it has 4 stories of Jacob and Esau. It's a little complicated, but it breaks it up, and we're going to get through most of it today. So let's get our green settled. And this is where Jacob and Esau live, where they are farmers and shepherds. And this is Jacob, and this is Esau. Now, we have to tell about when they came out of the womb, because they're twins. And Esau was first, and Esau had red hair, and Jacob had black hair. But as they came out of the womb and out of their mommy's tummy, Jacob grabbed on to Esau's heel and made it like they were connected. But Esau was the first one out. And in the Jewish world back then, if you were the oldest son, you received all of your father's wealth or their farm or the sheep, for example. And so Esau was the oldest. Jacob didn't like that very much. So as they grew up, they were always tussling. They fought about everything. It didn't matter what it was. Who was the smartest, who was the funniest, who tell them who was the best hunter, that was Esau. And who was the best helping in the house and helping their mother, Rebecca, that was Jacob. They even had a competition with their parents. So Isaac was the dad, and he liked Esau more because Esau was kind of a manly kind of man, and he hunted and he fished and he brought in all of that, and he loved to be outdoors. Rebecca's favorite was Jacob, and he hung out with her. He helped her in the house. He let Esau do all that outdoor stuff, and because he didn't care about it. Well, sometimes it's really hard when you know that parents have favorites. They're supposed to not have favorites because it hurts so much inside, but they did. And then poor Isaac, he was getting older, and these two are still fighting about everything. And he became blind, and he couldn't see. And they were still arguing about what one was going to get, one what wasn't going to get, when really the law, the rule was that Esau would get everything. Well, Rebecca, Isaac's wife, tricked with Jacob, tricked Isaac, and she got Jacob to put like sheep's clothing on and smell like Esau. And he went to his father's bed and said, "Oh, father, father, I love you so much." And Jake and Isaac was like, "You are my son. You are Esau. You receive everything." Ha, not a good thing. Poor Esau comes back from being outside doing all the things he does for the family, and he found out that he was tricked, and he was out of all the sheep and the farmland and the home. And he was very angry, very angry. He wanted to kill Jacob. So Jacob runs away because he's afraid he's going to get killed. And they're separated for a long, long time. I'm guessing 15, 20 years. Jacob has wives. Back in those days, there were more than one wife, lots of children, and he was successful. But in his heart, he knew he had done wrong. And Jacob got the courage to go back to his brother and to ask for forgiveness. And so he knew that Esau had an army of 400. And he was like, "I don't know what it's going to be like when I get back there, but it's really important that I do it." And he had the courage. So he comes back and he brings all of his wives and children and sheep and all of his belongings. And they get to here, let's say, and Esau can see his brother. And right then, Esau has to make a decision. Was he going to have the courage to forgive? Or was he going to be angry for the rest of his life? And there's a grown-up word called, it's bitter, where you just kind of shrivel up and you're mean and you're unkind. So Esau made the decision to be courageous and to forgive his brother. And they became friends, and they hugged and cried and cried and hugged. And Esau said, "I'm so glad to see you." And Jacob said, "I'm so sorry what I did." That kind of courage, I'm going to put them together. It's hard to find. And sometimes when I've done something wrong, and like Jacob did, it's hard. It takes me a while sometimes to be able to say I was wrong and to ask for forgiveness. That's a whole lot of courage. And sometimes when I know I've done something wrong, I feel it in my tummy. I'm like, I did that wrong, or my palms get sweaty. For some people, they feel it in their chest, and their chest gets all tight. Well, I've learned, and I want you to practice asking for forgiveness, because it makes you feel so much better. Your whole insides are clearer and more godlike. And the courage to forgive. You know, when your brother or sister has done something that really hurts your feelings, or maybe even a friend, that when they come to apologize, for you not to be that bitter person, all crumpled up and like, I'm never going to forgive you. To find it in your big heart to forgive. So this is courage. Courage all the way around. Both of these brothers needed it to make their relationship better, and they remained close their whole lives. So let's do a couple of wondering questions. I wonder what Jacob felt when he was way over here and he was far away from Esau and his brother and his homeland. I wonder if he had a hole in his heart. And for Esau, when Jacob was way over there building another life, I wonder what he was feeling. I wonder if he thought about using the army of 400 men. I wonder when they came together as brothers, what did they say to each other? I wonder where God is in this story. Amen.
2, ready, go. 4. Yeah. Micah, can you show us what?